Chapter 18. Emma. "Thank you for coming out with me," Carl said, grabbing Emma's hand. She fought the urge to extricate her hand from his grip as they walked. What had she been thinking? Giving Carl hope wasn't fair to either of them, and she didn't need to be married to be happy. Emma had accepted the invitation to the town picnic in a moment of weakness, and now she was regretting it. "You're welcome, but Carl, I hope you understand this doesn't mean we are courting. This is just two friends attending a town social event together." "Don't be silly, Emma," he said. "You know we belong together, and after this afternoon, I'm sure you'll remember how much fun we used to have." Emma swallowed her sigh. This was going to be a long few hours. The church grounds were already littered with blankets and townspeople when they arrived. Carl found an open patch and spread out a blanket for them. Emma set the picnic basket she had packed down and then folded her feet under her. "Would you like some punch?" Carl asked. "That would be nice," Emma said. He returned a few minutes later with a cup of lemonade for them both. After handing her a cup, he sat as well, placing himself a little too close to Emma for her comfort. "Are you hungry?" she asked, shifting her position to discreetly put more space between them. She opened the picnic basket. "I have cheese, biscuits, and fruit." "Do you remember the first barn dance we attended?" he asked, ignoring her question and scooting closer again. Emma knew he was referring to the dance where they had cuddled in the haystack before being found by Samuel. She had thought then she was going to marry Carl, not necessarily because she loved him, but because he was nice to her and they got along. The concept wasn't romantic, but practical marriages were the way of the West, and in a practical concept, they had made sense. "Yes, Carl, I remember, but that was a long time ago." Emma pulled out the cheese and fruit and placed it on a plate in front of them. "It doesn't have to be," he said, leaning toward her. "We could share those feelings again." "I'm sorry, Carl. This was a mistake." Emma dropped the piece of cheese she had picked up and stood. "I thought we could revisit being friends, but it appears we have two different views of our relationship." "Emma, wait," Carl said, pushing himself up and reaching out to her. "No, Carl, I need time to think. I'll see you later." Before he could protest any further, Emma spun around and hurried home. William. When William awoke, his throat felt funny. Stiff and sore, but also cold. The cot he was on was hard, though covered in a sheet, and the room felt sterile. A hospital? The memory of the bar fight flooded back. He was beginning to have very bad luck in saloons. William raised his hand to touch his neck, but before his hand reached the skin, a woman entered the room. "Don't touch," she scolded. "It hasn't had time to heal yet." William opened his mouth to speak, but his vocal cords did not seem to be working. "You can't speak," the woman said, coming closer. "Due to some bullet fragments shifting in your neck, your windpipe closed. The doctor was forced to perform a tracheotomy." William's eyes grew round. Though not sure exactly what that meant, it didn't sound good. "He was able to retrieve all the fragments, and your neck should heal soon so we can remove the tube. The procedure heals quickly after that, but you'll have to be careful to avoid injuring your neck in the future." The door opened again, and a man entered. "Oh, good, you're awake. Has Nurse Johnson informed you of your condition?" William nodded, knowing trying to speak would be useless. "Good. Let me check the tube to see if we can take it out yet." As the doctor came closer, William wondered how long he had been out. Would his Mark even still be in town, or would he be long gone by now? Did he even still care? If his neck wound did require him to stop bounty hunting, it would be the perfect excuse to retire, and he couldn't think of any place he'd rather do that than Sage Creek.
All right, the wound is healing nicely. I'm going to remove the tube and we'll let the wound close. You'll probably need to stay while it's healing, but once it's closed over, you should be free to go."
William nodded and closed his eyes as the doctor prepared for the procedure.